can an ordinary person reinvent their life? I've been asking myself that question a lot lately because over the last few months I made a decision. Instead of waiting until my life looked interesting, I was just going to start living one that was. So I'm building a couple businesses, learning YouTube, raising kids, working full time, trying to stay healthy, and attempting to keep a vegetable garden alive. The garden and I are currently negotiating. Hi, I'm Jennifer Bailey. I'm a full-time accounting manager, a mom of 4, and someone who's finally decided to stop waiting until I feel ready. Because I've started noticing something. Most successful people don't actually have everything figured out. They've just become comfortable looking a little confused in public. And honestly, that was one of the most encouraging things I've ever learned. So some people collect stamps, I collect projects, and here's what I've realized. Life doesn't usually get less busy. You just get better at deciding what deserves your energy. Everything else is just really loud. Maybe this channel is really just one long experiment. What happens if an ordinary person stops waiting, stops making excuses, gets a little uncomfortable, stays curious, and simply keeps showing up? I don't know. That's what we're about to find out. If I ever start acting like I have everything figured out, please send me back to watch this video because I absolutely do not. And I think a lot of us are trying to build lives we're proud of, while secretly feeling like we're making it up as we go. If that's you, welcome. I think we're gonna get along just fine. The last few years have changed me in ways I never expected. Professionally, I've been fortunate to grow in leadership roles with more responsibility, more opportunities, and honestly, more spreadsheets than any one human should probably have open at the same time. I've learned something interesting. Stress usually isn't caused by having too much to do. It's been caused by carrying too many things around in your head at the same time. The moment you build a system, your brain finally gets to exhale. Personally, life had other plans for me. I've experienced some seasons recently that stretched me, some that humbled me, some that forced me to start over more than once. There were moments where I questioned myself, where I had to rebuild my confidence, and honestly had no idea what came next. Looking back now, I'm actually grateful for all of it, because every difficult season taught me something I couldn't have learned in any other way. I've started believing that this life is kind of like going to the gym. Nobody gets stronger because the weights are light. You get stronger because eventually you stop asking the weights to be lighter and you start becoming stronger yourself. I've realized that growth usually isn't one big life-changing moment. It's 100 of tiny decisions, tiny moments where you keep deciding to show up, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. I don't think consistency means never missing. I think consistency means becoming really good at coming back again and again and again. That's a much more useful skill. Professionally, numbers have always made sense to me. I genuinely enjoy bookkeeping, finance, systems, and finding ways to make complicated things feel a little simpler. I know, that's probably the least surprising thing you've ever heard an accountant say. But there's another side of me that's always been just curious. I've been fascinated by personal growth for as long as I can remember. I've spent years listening to people like Esther and Abraham Hicks, Wayne Dyer, Eckhart Tolle, and so many others. I've always wanted to understand why we think the way we do, why some people stay stuck and others reinvent themselves over and over again, how our beliefs quietly shape our lives without us even realizing it. Some people, binge Netflix. I binge neuroscience podcasts, and somehow I actually think that's fun for Friday night. I think curiosity is one of the most underrated personality traits. Curious people don't have to know everything. They just refuse to stop learning, and that's a pretty fun way to go through life. Those ideas have shaped the way I approach most everything now. My career, my relationships, my parenting, my businesses, even the conversations I have with myself. You know what's funny? Most people tell the story after they've succeeded. They write the book, they give the TED Talk, they explain all the lessons. I'm doing the opposite. You're meeting me right in the middle of the story. I don't know exactly how it ends, but I have a feeling it's going to be interesting. That's really what this channel is about. Not to pretending to be an expert on life, not pretending I have all the answers. But if you're looking for someone who's going to tell you they have everything figured out, this probably isn't the channel for you. But if you enjoy watching someone ask better questions, learn kind of publicly, build businesses, balance work and family, explore ideas, laugh when things go sideways, and slowly build a life they're genuinely proud of, I think you're gonna like it here, because I've realized something. Most people aren't actually looking for motivation. They're looking for evidence. Evidence that it's possible to change careers, start creating, build a business, become healthier, think differently, reinvent yourself in your 40s, or simply become someone they enjoy being. That's what I hope this channel becomes. Not a place where I tell you how to live, a place where we learn together, where we challenge ideas, share experiences, celebrate progress, laugh at ourselves once in a while, and remind each other that nobody has everything figured out. I don't really want to build an audience. I'd rather build a room full of curious people. People who are enjoying thinking, who are okay with changing their minds, who know that growth usually starts with one uncomfortable question. Here's what I hope happens. A year from now, maybe this channel becomes evidence. Evidence that you don't have to become a completely different person to build a completely different life. Maybe you just have to keep making one better decision than yesterday, over and over and over again. We're all learning, we're all becoming, and maybe that's the whole point. So, if that sounds like the kind of journey you'd like to be a part of, I'd love to have you along. Leave a comment and introduce yourself. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me what you're working toward, because I have a feeling we're going to have some really interesting conversations here. And one day, maybe we'll look back at this first video together and laugh at how nervous I was to hit publish. I still don't know if any ordinary person can reinvent their life, but I guess we're about to find out. I'll see you in the next one.